Everyone in this arena has a stake in one of our famous couples. The red section has its money on director Lee Bernhardis and his wife Janet Lennon of the Lennon Sisters. The yellow section backs Orson Bean and his wife Carolyn. And the blue section is betting on Glenn Ford and his fiancée, actress Cynthia Hayward, as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletales. And here's the star of Tattletales, Bert Convy.
He's not looking. Good afternoon.
I kissed you. Isn't that enough?
You want an answer? How are you, everybody? Having a nice time? Nice to see you all. We're going to win you all some money today. We got a rooting section for each one of our terrific couples here today. They're going to win them some money. Shall we start doing that now?
Why not?
Why don't we start now? Fellas, have a seat with me. Ladies, you will sit back there in those three little chairs, and we will begin our first round of Tattletales in just a moment.
Vintage wheelin' and dealin' never goes out of style.
That's yours. That car is yours.
Let's make a deal. Weeknights at 8 on BUZZR. Let's play.
I'm having a terrific time sitting in the front row. You guys don't mind my back. Is it okay? Okay, we're going to introduce our couples one by one. First on my left is Mr. Glenn Ford and his fiancée, Cynthia Hayward. There she is. Yes, you can't see her through that door. There she is, right in the little box there.
Hello.
You look lovely, Cynthia.
Thank
Next
you.
to Cynthia and Glenn is Mr. Orson Bean and his wife, Carolyn Bean. Wow. What a shot I got in the earlobes from that one. Next
You may remember me. I formerly went on the screen under the name of Irene Dunn.
Never mind. Next to Carolyn and Orsolyn. I'm fine.
Orsolyn.
Carolyn and Orsolyn. Sounds
like that.
Sounds like a shot you get for a cold. Next to Orsolyn and Carolyn is Mr. Lee Bernhardis and Janet Lennon. Okay, we're all set to go. This is fun. I'm out here rooting for you, too, gang. I'm rooting for all three couples. I'm totally neutral. Ladies, we're going to say goodbye to you now. We're going to ask the fellas questions. Get ready to have some clues and some questions. Goodbye, ladies. Okay, fellas, ready to go? Here comes the first question, and it is this. It happened away from home. All right, Lee, you're up.
Well, my wife was appearing in New York, I think, on the Ed Sullivan Show or something, and we'd already had one child. And it was more or less a nice little trip away from home. So in New York, we decided that we would go see a Broadway play, which I had never seen. And we did. We went and saw Fiddler on the Roof, whatever. And afterwards, she wanted to go to, what is it, Lindsay's for a piece of
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake. Good. Okay. Well, we were sitting at the.
Forget Lindy's cheesecake. This is ridiculous.
I didn't like cheesecake at the time.
I like.
Anyway, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden,
cheesecake. I mean, gee.
this strange lady across from me starts. She's acting very funny, and she'd say, "What are you doing after you finish your cheesecake?" And I think this is kind of strange, so I just kind of ignored it. Then on the way home, she'd kind of hold my hand and was putting her arm around me. She's acting very strange. Then I realized that my wife has cleverly, to make our trip more interesting, assumed, how would you say it, another identity.
That of a sidewalk stewardess,
Yes,
perhaps?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Well, we proceeded to the hotel and had a very enjoyable evening, and when we got home, we found out that we were going to have a second child. Well, the child looks like both of us, but I really don't know whose it is. I know part of it's mine. But anyway, this strange lady that I
think I missed part of this story somewhere.
Right.
I could have told the whole story in 10 words, but he's going on.
It's a half-hour show.
Now, you were with Janet.
I was with Janet, and she assumed a different character to enlighten our evening.
Well, get to the point.
I see. So what happened then?
She became pregnant.
That's the point of the story.
That's the point of the story.
Thanks.
You just enlightened my evening, too, listening to this.
Oh, geez, you can't have everything.
All right, now we need a clue. It happened away from home. And the clue is...
I say imposter.
Cheesecake!
You say what?
Imposter.
Imposter? You say imposter. You say imposter. I say imposter. All right. Imposter is a one-word clue worth $100 if Janet recognizes it.
All right.
Here we go. Let's bring her on. Okay, ladies. We've asked the fellas a question. We have a lengthy answer and a clue. The question was, it happened away from home. And the clue is imposter. Janet.
Well, Lee and I went to a Broadway show, Fiddler on the Roof or something, and afterwards we went to Lindy's for cheesecake, and I just decided I was tired of being myself. So I just turned into somebody else, and I invited him home to my hotel room. And 9 months later, our son was born. Bad timing.
That's what he said. And you're right. Who was playing Fiddler on the... Who was in Fiddler on the Roof?
Never mind, what a question.
I just want to know if it was
Many
Zero.
childless
Harry
couples all
Goss.
over America
Oh,
have
Harry
just left
Goss.
the room to
You know
try
what?
the system.
Never mind.
I better say, I have to say something.
What's that?
We were married at the time. I don't
Sure
think
we
I said
Oh, yes,
that.
we understood all that. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies, thank you. We're coming back with the next question, another
She's
clue
gotta
in
ruin
just
everything.
a moment. What was that?
She's got to ruin everything.
No. We understood that. Here's the next question coming up. And we are ready. It happened away from home. Same question.
Again?
Yes, he did. By a hair, but electronically Orson was in there.
Oh, I won.
Yes,
I thought
sir.
you won.
No, it's electronic.
We were off on a trip to visit my father in Boston. And we were in our van. We drive a Volkswagen bus, and the 4 kids were in the back, and the cat, and me, and Carolyn up in the front, and there's a horrible storm starting to blow up. And we get on the Connecticut Turnpike, and I've just gone to the bank and cashed a check for $200-300 for our money for the whole week up in Boston. And I've got it in my pocket, and I'm strapped in with the idiot seatbelt, and the van is swaying in the wind, and we're on the Connecticut Turnpike, and we pull up to where you have to put the quarter into the thing, and I can't get my hand in my pocket to get the quarter out because of the seatbelt. And finally, I pull out all the money, and I put it in my lap, and I reach back in, and I get a quarter, and I roll the window down to put the quarter in the thing, and the quarter falls to the floor of the bus, and the only way I can get it is to open the door, and the wind comes in, takes all the money. It goes flying in the air, and I scream, and I go flying, leave the bus there with the cars honking behind us, and I go flying, trying to grab the money. Tens and twenties, hundreds of dollars were flying in the air.
Oh,
Isn't that a horrible
that's
story?
a horrible story. Did you get it all back or no?
No, I didn't get any of it back.
Oh, no.
Money fell all over the state of Connecticut the next week.
Wow.
I'm
Hasn't
sorry
it-
you didn't get in there first.
The guard is chasing you. Give me my quarter. All right.
Do it again.
What we need is a clue now that Carolyn's going to recognize that happened away from home.
Money. Quarter. I think I need a 2-word clue, like... This crowd is getting nasty.
Yes,
Money.
they have some good ideas, too. Can you hear them?
Money, I
Money
guess.
is the word he wants. One-word clue.
I don't know.
The money's
I don't know
habit.
if she's going to get it from that, like money blow. She'd get it from. I think I better go with 2 words. Money blow.
Money blow.
It's on your head, money.
All right, he's going with money. Is that what you're going with? The man is going with a one-word clue, and it is money. All right, let's bring on the
They
ladies.
asked for it.
All right, by popular request. Ladies, we have another question. We have a clue. It is the same question. It happened away from home. And the clue is money. Carolyn.
The money is
And
a long
you-
way from home, right?
What's that?
And the money is a long way from home. Is that the money?
That's it.
You want to tell us how that happened? Well, you know, it's...
Right out the car. All
That's
over.
what the man said. You're right.
That's why we're doing this show.
Okay,
We
you were
need the
right.
money.
At this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Carolyn Orson, Janet and Lee are tied with $100 apiece. All righty, time to play a tattletale quickie now. Here it comes. Ladies, I'll ask you the question. Please don't give me the answer. Now, we all know that most men will go out of their way to look at a beautiful girl in a bikini. We all know that. Well, but honestly,
I didn't know that.
would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit? Now, don't give me an answer. Don't say a word. We all know that most men will go out of their way to look at a beautiful girl in a bikini, but honestly, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
Why don't you try it?
And if you would, I just happen to have a little number here that you're going to be crazy about. Okay, ladies, go away and think about it. We'll come back in a moment.
Another question?
The question is, would she go out of her way?
No,
What do you think she'll say?
What do I think she's saying? Mm-hmm. Would I go out of the way?
No, would she? Would she go out of her way to look at a well-built man in a bathing suit?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Why wouldn't she, do you think? Now, wait a minute. You see, the assumption here is we all know that most men will go out of their way to look at... You'd look at a woman in a bathing suit. You don't think that she...
No, I know Cynthia enough to know that I don't think she would go out of her way, let's put.
On top of that,
Right.
they swim naked. It's the bathing suit will put her off.
Because that's the question. You're right. Go out of your way. All right, let's bring her on. Cynthia. Cynthia, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
I might not go out of my way, but I'd sure look. So I'd say yes.
Sorry, old man. Come on out, I'll buy you a beer.
There's a man out here that
Said
didn't
no.
think you'd say that. Want to explain that to her, Glenn?
No.
No. We'll just let it go with that. Sorry, dear, that's not what the man said. Thank you. All right, Orson, what's Carolyn going to say?
Why, it was only the other day that she said to me, "Hey, Ors, look at that well-built man in the brief bathing suit." Yeah, of course you would.
Yes, all right. Let's bring Carolyn on and see if she feels that way. Carolyn, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a bathing suit?
It's the next best thing to skinny dipping.
I believe that was a yes answer, wasn't it? Thank you, Carolyn. You're absolutely right. That's what Orson said. Lee, how about Janet? What's she going to say?
What do you think? I don't, and now, if you read the whole question as to whether she will go out of her way, I think that she would not go out of her way.
All right. I will say that. I will say, I'll read the whole last half of that question then. All
That's
right?
the point of my question. She would not go out of her way.
Well, I said that to her, and she said she may not go out of her way,
But she doesn't hear very well.
And then she switched.
Yeah, he gets half for that.
All right, let's bring on Janet. All right, Janet. Janet, honestly, would you go out of your way to look at a well-built man in a brief bathing suit?
I have no idea what Lee's going to say to this, but it just wouldn't interest me at all.
That's what he said. You're right.
I got her trained. Good shot in the
Okay, at
chops.
this point, Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Carolyn and Orson, Janet and Lee are still tied with $200 apiece. Halftime, folks. Fellas to the rear, ladies to the front. Oh, women out here. Okay, oh, we'll break away. We'll be right back. We're switching places. Almost forgot you there for a minute.
For everyone who shouted the correct answer, here's your chance to play along all over again. Daytime Buzz, weekdays starting at 10, only on BUZZR.
Okay, we are back. We have changed places. I have the ladies out here with me. The fellas are tuned in the back, ready to go. We are winning and sharing and having a good time. I hope if you are in the rooting section that is backing our top winning couple, and we're going to find out who that is in just a moment, we will add a bonus of $1,000 to your total winnings today. All right, fellas, you're ready to go. It's the ladies' turn now, and Cynthia's got here with her fingers crossed, Glenn. Let's get lucky. Here we go. See you in just a minute, fellas. Ladies, ready to go. First question coming up, and this is it. The first time you met. Carolyn is up.
Well, some of you already know Orson and I met in a bar. And when we met, we were sitting at a table. I mean, he likes to say that he picked me up. And I don't mind him saying he picked me up, but we were sitting at a table with mutual friends, and someone wanted a match for a cigarette, and Orson thought that he would impress me, and he was in a show at the time, and there was a newspaper strike, so they had matches.
That's the fellas backstage listening to the music. We heard a voice come out.
Wondered what that was. And
they can't hear us, though, so
okay.
it's all right.
So he pulled out these matches with Never Too Late on them, you know, to make a big impression. And I really thought that was going a bit far, and it really turned me off. And he had to work very hard after that.
To change.
But he succeeded.
He did.
But you know what really won me over? Was when he opened his wallet and showed me a picture of his 3-year-old daughter.
That did.
And I thought that was sweet. And he was very surprised to find out afterwards that something that he thought was going to make a big impression, you know,
didn't work.
Did zilch. And the
Never
sweet
Too Late being the name of the play he was in at the time.
Never Too Late was the name of the play.
Okay, so we need a clue now that he's going to recognize.
Matches?
First time you met, matches.
Okay, matches. Good
matches
clue.
is the clue. One word, worth $100. Let's bring on the fellas. All right, gentlemen, we've asked a question. We do have a clue. Here is the question first. The first time you met, and the clue is matches. Matches. Awesome. You gave him a scare there for a minute, Orson, I can tell you that. Tell us about that, if you will, sir.
Oh, the terrible woman.
I've forgiven you.
Yeah, but I won't forgive you for telling the story. Well, it's a dumb thing. I was in a show called Never Too Late, and they had matches printed up with the name of the show, and my name was on there as one of the stars of the show, and I guess I wanted to come on a little strong.
Point. Cynthia and Glenn have yet to score. Janet Lee have $300. Carolyn and Orson are in the lead with $300. We shall return momentarily after a brief commercial message for you.
Where do you catch TV with class?
How do you do? We're going to be in New York a while?
And a man always stands for a lady.
You're in a jam. Here I am.
The answer is in black and white.
Once you kind of relax, settle back, and enjoy yourself.
Buzz till dawn. Tonight, starting at 2. Let's play, baby.
Oh, 1. Okay, we're back. We have a tattletale quickie now. Fellas, are you there?
Yeah.
Here's the question. Don't give me the answer. Which of the two of you is really the more romantic at heart? Ha ha ha. That's a good one. Which of the two of you is really the more romantic at heart? Think about that, fellas. We'll come back to you in just a moment for your answer. Cynthia, what's Glenn going to say?
Himself.
Which one of you he thinks he will say
Definitely.
that he is the more romantic at heart? Is he, in fact?
No.
I had a feeling. But he thinks he is.
We're equal. I'll say Glenn.
But he'll say that you think he'll say he is, huh?
I hope so.
Okay, I hope so too. Let's bring him on and find out. All right, Glenn, which of you is really the more romantic at heart, do you think?
I think I am.
That's what she said. You're right. Now tell him what the rest of that, if you will, Cynthia.
I said that I think that I am, but I was going to be nice tonight.
What?
Honey? Honey.
He's just smiling and saying, well, she can think what she wants to think. Thank you. You were right on that one, Glenn. Thank you. Carolyn, how about Orson? What's he going to say?
It's really a hard question, because I really think that we're equal, too. I don't know. What do you think, folks? You know him as well as I do. Gee, I think he'll maybe think he is. He really, you know, he is such a bunny. He really does sweet things like bringing me flowers and always has candles lit on the table for dinner and stuff. I guess he really is so sweet. Yes, Orson is.
You're going to say he is.
Yeah, but that's
he'll
not
say
to mean that I'm not romantic.
No, we're not saying, we're not taking a thing away from you.
Okay.
No, sir. Let's bring him on. All right, Orson, who is really the more romantic at heart between you and Carolyn, would you say?
The first time I ever laid eyes on Carolyn in that smoke-filled bar, she had such an air of romance about her that it made me want to take her home and ravish her. I think she's more romantic than I meant to say I'm more romantic than she.
Too late. Sorry about that, Orson. Thank you. That's not what Carolyn said. Okay. Janet, how about Lee? What's he going to say?
Personally, I think that I'm the most romantic, but I really, really think, you guys, that he's going to say he is, okay? Would I let you down? Maybe. I'll say that he'll say that he.
Okay, let's bring him on and find out. Okay, Lee, who is really the more romantic at heart, you or Janet?
Well, that's really one of those unfair questions because we all feel that we're more romantic than the other, and in our own little way. But I would have to say that I think that Janet is more romantic.
That, however, is not...
He made a mistake. Say it again, dear.
Would you like
I said I'm more romantic than you.
No, I'm sorry.
Can we play this round
We
again,
heard you the
please?
first time, and I'm sorry, Lee. That's not what Janet said. Thank you very much, however. Okay, moving right along. No, we're not going to move along because that signal means time is up. Our winners are Carolyn and Orson Bean. Carolyn and Orson, you have won $300 for your rooting section. We had $1,000 to that for a total of $1,300. We'll come back with more of Tattletales after this message. Please come back.
It's the single reason the divorce rate in Hollywood is so high. Tattletales is next. Then he's the real deal. Join Monty Hall for Let's Make a Deal. Stay tuned.
Okay, we're just about out of time. We gave away $1,600 today. I hope you had fun. We sure did. Thanks to our celebrity couples. See you next time on Tattletales. Bert Conley saying so long, everybody. Bye now.
This is Jack Clark speaking for Tattletales, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.